my child, it's been a while since I made a video, but this one took me quite a while, so I hope you'll all understand. So in the past, I've noticed that you guys have loved my Flickr videos. I love them too, as a Flickr player with over 130 wins, 149 after this video, and that gave me an idea. I was curious, what's the most statistically common role? What's the least statistically common role? I decided to find out. So today, you'll see all that I learned from playing 100 Flickr rounds. So first, a bit of a backstory. If you weren't aware, there are 14 roles you can get randomly assigned in Flickr. 5 evil roles, 1 neutral, and 8 good roles. I made a video ranking all these roles if you're interested, although it's quite outdated now. Anyway, secondly, I set some rules for myself. No scrolls for one, absolutely no scrolls. Only one consistent game mode, the default one. No keeping track of the number of players in every game queue, and, well, those are really all the rules. I didn't play through every single round because that would take way too much time. I only played through rounds actively whenever I was something important, such as basically any evil role or the psychic. So without further ado, let's look at what we discovered. It truly was a wild ride, from founding the bald money sniffers cult, to many satisfying victories, to schemes with my own moderator. The first trial was rather surprising, starting off the experiment with a bang. Yes, the first role that I got is none other than the murderer. I might have gotten a bit too excited though after taking a victory, because the next 3 roles consisted of the dreaded survivor and twin roles. From there on, I rolled all roles at least once, sometimes getting survivor many times in a row, and sometimes being pleasantly surprised with my results. I ended up getting murderer so many times that I actually had to recheck that I didn't have any scrolls equipped. I didn't. Let's run through the highlights of this experiment real quick. On trial 52, where I was the witch, I came across some girls with vibrant personalities. We formed a friend group and ended up calling ourselves the Bald Money Sniffers Cult. Don't even ask why. I played many of these rounds with them, so shout out to them, especially Zoe and her pickle chips. On trial 77, where I was assassin, I had a disappointing round with an AFK murderer. Don't think we ended up winning that one. Round 87 was just as disappointing, the detective leaving directly after I used my revive on them as a savior. That just made me straight up rage quit. On round 78, again when I was the witch, I met another interesting fellow called Father. Shout out to him as well. We developed a lovely friendship and he kept me company during my recording too. Last shout out goes to Train Dude, Ethan, my moderator, who also joined me on my Flickr journey for about 10 trials or so. He's a legend.
Please, something good, like assassin or something.
Alright, let's see what we get. Survivor.
Okay, survivor.
Now that all of that is out of the way, let's get on to the meat of this video, the results. I'll put this all in a list format. Now, let me just say that these are only my results. You could play 100 Flickr rounds, and you could have completely different results. These are just mine with my experience. It's no surprise that the number 1 most common role ended up being the survivor, with me rolling it 35 out of 100 times. Not fun, guys, but someone's gotta be a survivor. More surprising, however, or maybe not, I don't know, are the roles taking 2nd and 3rd place. The second most common role I discovered is none other than the detective at 13%. Maybe it does make sense since it's the leader of the good team, but 3rd place, on the flip side, is the leader of the evil team, the murderer. I got this 9 times, which is surprisingly common. Right up behind the murderer is the neutral role, the clown, with me getting this role 8 times throughout the experiment. Didn't stay for any of these rounds, but clown is super fun. Last in the top 5, there's a tie between the Dark Psychic and the Muffin Man. I got both of these 6 times. Super funny because these roles are like completely the opposite of each other. Also, just a heads up, there will be more ties coming up, like this one right here. In 7th and 8th place, we have Medic and Witch, both relatively minor roles in both of their teams, so it makes sense. Makes even more sense considering that these are both in either-or situations, the round having either a medic or a savior, and having either a witch or a scout. Spoiler alert too, the alternatives for both of these 7th and 8th place roles are actually quite low on the list, which means that witch is likely more common in a round than a scout, and medic is slightly more common than its alternative of a savior. These are just my experiences though. When I'm actually playing and paying attention, it seems that scouts and saviors appear much more often. However, spoiler alert, scout is the role I got the least amount of times for whatever reason. Anyways, continuing on with the list, we got a big tie next, with me rolling spy, savior, assassin, and twin all 3 times each. Pretty interesting stuff. Bit disappointing considering that Assassin is my favorite role and Twin is my least favorite. Towards the bottom of the list, I only rolled Psychic a sad 2 times. Fair though, since Psychic is super overpowered. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Can we please make Psychic the leader of the good team instead? Yet Psychic is only the runner-up to what I found to be the least common role in the game. As mentioned earlier, that place goes to the Scout. Yeah. Out of 100 trials, I only got Scout once. That's really sad. I feel like I get it a lot on stream, but I guess not. Got this bad boy on game 18 and then never again. Weird stuff. Anyways, those are the results. Now let's break it down a bit more, shall we? Looking at these results, I got good rolls 69 times, a neutral roll 8 times, and evil rolls the remaining 23 times. Another thing I want to look at is the either or rolls. The first pair we will look at is the Twin and the Muffin Man, the worst roll and arguably one of the best. Well, I'm sure that you'll be glad to hear that I got Muffin Man twice as often as I got Twin. Similarly, I also got Dark Psychic twice as much as I got Assassin, which I'm more sad about that one. Next, the Savior and the Medic, which I touched on earlier. For this pair, I got Medic 25% more than I got its Savior alternative. This is a disappointing one to me too. Savior is so much better unless you get in a game with a stupid Savior. Now, looking at whether the Scout or the Witch is more likely to be in a game, Witch easily pulls through. I mean, no surprise when Scout was only pulled up from the RNG once in my case. I experienced being Witch 4 times as often as I experienced being the Scout. Last comparison we have here is the Psychic and the Spy. These two were very close, both being relatively rare, but I ended up getting Scout 3 times while I only got Psychic twice. So I was roughly 33% more likely to pull Spy than the Psychic. This is probably why the team leaders in the neutral role were much more common, because they don't have an either-or situation going on, while most of the other roles do. New hatred for Dark Psychic also, keeping me from being my beloved Assassin. So that's pretty much all the information that I gathered from this fun little experiment. Gosh, it took me so long. Again, I didn't keep track of the number of players in every game, though that is probably something to consider. It was just too much. But I did these trials in public servers, so the number of people is probably between 8 to 15 for most of them. This was a fun experiment, and I hope that it was as interesting for you as it was for me. Maybe I'll do more experiments, like maybe I'll go around asking people what their favorite roles are. Let me know if you want to see that down in the comments. And let me know what part of the video fascinated you the most. And I'll see you later for some more Flickr videos. Bye, my childs!
I give a muffin to evil, which is funny because I was the first person they gave a muffin to, and I am evil. I'm gonna frame you in my journal too.
Go ahead, go ahead. That's honestly, that's what you need to win.
I don't know who to vote, guys. Oh my god.
That was amazing. A survivor again.
The murderer. Oh my god.
Me's in the server. I just looked at the server list.
Oh no.
Me's in the server.
Oh no. Oh it. Was not the person I tried to frame before?
Yeah, that's the person you tried to frame.
Oh my god.
That's the person. Oh god! I know, I'm sorry. Hopefully they're evil this time, so you don't have to actually betray them again.
Well, they're saviors, so now I gotta kill them. Him, Dumbo, just sent me a note that said, "Clown is me." I did not vote. Me either. I didn't either, guys.
Me either.
I didn't kill either.
Oh god, oh wait,
Same.
oh wait, oh wait. Oh, wait, I think Dumbo died.
Wait, what?
Dumbo died, I think the assassin's still alive.
I did not kill that man. What is it with assassins nowadays
That
not
was
telling
obvious.
people who they are? Back in my day,
Pretty much
assassins
all.
actually told their murderers.